Yeah.
What's happening today, guys? This is Aztecross. Hey, look, we're going to talk a little bit today because I've had many requests in my chat feeds whenever I'm streaming on Twitch, and No Moss and Volt have also got a bunch of those requests as well. And what people have asked is, how do you get good at trials? What do you do to prepare for trials? What's the best thing? And I'm probably going to put out a more detailed video. But today, what I really want to talk to you all about before we go any further is the mentality of trials. So what normally happens whenever I bring someone into trials with me to help get flawless and to actually run a card with, these are the type of players that I run across. Now, one type of player I run across is the super passive player. And what I mean by super passive, I mean literally will stay in a corner the entire match. And the thing about it is, they're so scared to die because they don't want to result in the team losing. But here's the thing, when you play so passively like that, you don't actually help the team. You know what I'm saying? It's good that you're alive, yes, but the same token, if you're not out there, if you're not sitting there posing a threat to the enemy, then you might not as well even be there. So that's one player that I tend to run across a bunch in trials. The second player I run across is those that are super aggressive. They're playing it as if they're playing a skirmish match. Which in some cases that's okay, but at the same token, you can't be too aggressive to run up in there and get picked. Even if we land a pick, you got to be smart in your push. You know what I'm saying? Always be willing to push, but push smart. So here's the thing, I want to talk and I want to kind of spin your mentality on trials a little bit. I want you to go into a trials match and play it as if it's a skirmish match. Think of it almost as if it's a skirmish match. Think of it as, it's okay if I get domed. It's okay if I risk this. But don't be too risky. Like, find a good medium between both of those play types, and that's really what it is. When players get so seized up because they're worried about getting picked or they're worried about resulting in their team losing, you'll end up losing that way. But the best way to deal with that is to almost imagine it as if it's just an everyday game. I see good Crucible players coming to trials and they fall flat on their face because they overthink it, man. And if you just believe that it's just a regular Crucible match, this is just another game, you would be surprised how well you would do. And as far as the other mentality goes, the mentality in trials, unless you just play elimination a lot, but the mentality of trials is just a lot different. Normally, those players that actually play elimination a bunch will, of course, be good in Trials of Osiris. Why? Well, when you start off, it's not like a regular Crucible game. A regular Crucible game like Skirmish or 6v6 or anything, you're going to go to the hotspot. In Trials, there really is no hotspot. That's the thing about it, man. You've always got to watch your flank. You've always got to expect the unexpected because you never know if someone on the other team might outthink you. And that's what makes Trials so much different than other game types. Is it really comes down to almost like a game of chess, maneuvering yourself and your teammates throughout the map to finally flank someone. And that's normally the kills. Everyone now, you see people get outskilled in gunfights and stuff like that. But at the same token, a lot of the fights are won because you've pretty much maneuvered yourself along the map in a way that it flanks the enemy. And that's the mentality of Trials of Osiris, is you want to maneuver in that way, in that fashion. I see a lot of players that are, like I said, great players in Crucible, but then they fall flat because they can't adapt yet, or they haven't had enough time yet to adapt to the mentality of Trials. And that is the mentality of Trials. You're gonna be playing sweaty players, so be ready to sweat, and that's what's so fun about it. But at the same token, that's also what's so frustrating about it to some people. When I bring people in and we also run a card, you gotta want it, man. That's the thing about Trials. You gotta want it in a way that you are always thinking. This is not just a reaction game. It's not just a Twitch game where you have someone just come up on you and you just Twitch react. No, it's a game of chess, man, and it's a game of outmaneuvering your opponents, and you've got to want it more than they want it. I see players the other day that have 0.7, 0.6 KD, and they shine in the 8th game with 11 kills and 3 deaths because they wanted it, man. And when you want it like that, when you want to win to get to flawless or to the lighthouse, that does more for anyone, for yourself than anything. No matter how good your carriers are, you know what I'm saying? No matter how good they are, if you want it, that's going to go much further. And I've seen people join, especially Nomos and Volt, when they join their streams and join them in trials. We know right off the bat, it's almost instinctively, we know if this person is going to go flawless, just based on your personality and how willing you are to go the extra mile to win out. Because when we get in there and we see a player that doesn't want it, man, we know we're only going to make it to game 6 or 7, maybe even 8 with them, and that's it. They're not going to get past that point, because that's the thing, man. Trials is such a team-oriented thing that you got to want it. So that's the mentality I wanted everyone to kind of push toward. It is a game of chess. It's a game of maneuvering yourself, your teammates around the map to flank enemies. It's also a mind game. Don't let it bluff you, man. Don't let dying hold you back to the point that you're too passive. It's just like every other Crucible game. I want you to think of it in that mentality. Not that it's going to be every choke point, but in the mentality of don't be too scared to act. It's always good to act, man. It's always good to always show your aggression against the enemy, and it goes a long way, especially if there's people out there that's helping you through trials. Anyways, guys, man, this is a long video. God, how fucking long am I gonna talk? Fellas, thanks for coming to watch it. Catch y'all later.